Hey there, welcome back to Tales Under the Tree. I'm Becky Facer, and today we are going to learn about vertebrates. So vertebrates are animals that have backbones. If you're talking about animals, living things that have to eat to get energy, a lot of them, actually the vast majority, are invertebrates. They're things that don't have backbones. That would be beetles and butterflies and octopus and all sorts of things like that. But we are in a category called vertebrates, animals that do have backbones. So we're going to read a story about them called Bone by Bone. This book is by Sara Levine, and then it's illustrated by T.S. Spooky Tooth. And we do Tales Under the Tree every week. We're in the Mosaic Backyard universe under the Ralph S. French Charitable Foundation Mighty Oak. So getting started with our story. What kind of animal would you be if your finger bones grew so long that they reached your feet? Or what if you had no leg bones but kept your arm bones? This book is all about what if. What if your skeleton was different than another type of skeleton? What kind of animal would you be? Bone by bone. Comparing animal skeletons. Have you ever wondered what we would look like if we didn't have any bones? It wouldn't be pretty. Luckily, we don't have that problem. We're vertebrates, animals with bones. Our bones hold us up. Vertebrates come in different shapes and sizes, but we have many of the same bones. All vertebrates have skulls and ribs, and we all have vertebrae. Vertebrae stack up one on top of another to make the spine or backbone. Can you imagine how you'd look if we added some bones to your spine? What if your vertebrae didn't stop at your rear end? What if they kept going? Can you guess? Do you know what kind of animal you'd be? You'd have a tail. Tails are made of vertebrae. Lots of animals have tails. They wag on happy dogs and sweep side to side to help alligators swim through the water. What would happen if we took away some bones? What if you didn't have any arm or leg bones? What kind of animal would you be if you had just a skull, vertebrae, and ribs? Can you think of an animal that doesn't have any arms or legs? How about a snake? Snakes don't have any arm or leg bones because they don't have any arms or legs. What kind of an animal would you be if we took away your leg bones but kept your arm bones? Here's a hint. We'd also move your breathing holes from the front of your face to the top of your skull. Can you think of one? An animal that breathes out of the top of its head? A whale or a dolphin. These animals don't have legs. Their arm bones and finger bones are flippers. The holes on the top of their skulls are their blowholes. Blowholes let them breathe air easily as they swim. Instead of tilting their head at the surface to get air, as we do when we swim, they just rise up to take a breath. Now, what would happen if your middle fingers and middle toes were so thick that they supported your whole body? What kind of animal would you be if these bones were so strong that you didn't need any other hand or foot bones? A horse or a donkey or a zebra. These animals only have only one toe on each leg. Instead of fingernails and toenails, they have hooves. What kind of animal would you be if you had only 2 fingers on each hand and 2 toes on each foot? So these had 1 on each. Can you think of an animal that looks kind of like that, but it has 2 toes instead? A goat or a sheep or a moose or a deer or a pig or a cow. Since these animals walk on 2 toenails, their hooves are called split hooves. Now let's keep all of your bones, but change the size of some of them. What kind of animal would you be if you had really big vertebrae in your neck? Can you think of an animal that has a long neck like that? That's right, a giraffe. Both humans and giraffes have 7 vertebrae in their necks, but giraffe vertebrae are enormous. Each vertebrae can be more than 10 inches long. That's about as big as your head. What kind of animal would you be if your leg bones were much, much longer than your arm bones? A rabbit or a kangaroo. These animals need strong hind leg bones for jumping. Now, what kind of animal would you be if your finger bones grew so long that they reached your feet? A bat. Bats' wings are made of finger bones. A web of skin connects the bones to make wings so that a bat can fly. What if we took away all of your bones? Could you be an animal if you didn't have any bones at all? What do you think? Yes, many animals don't have bones. They're called invertebrates. Clams, beetles, and starfish have no bones. They have their hard parts on the outside. Worms and slugs don't have bones. Their bodies are small and mushy. Jellyfish don't have bones either. In fact, their bodies are so fragile they would collapse if they didn't live in water. But let's add the bones back in one more time. What kind of animal would you be if you could turn this page? A human. The bones in our hands look a lot like the bones many other animals have, but we can move our thumbs in a special way that allows us to do many things, including turning the pages of a book. Our special thumbs are called opposable thumbs. Opposable thumbs are one of the things that makes us human. Did you get that? If so, give yourself a thumbs up. That's the end. But I do have a special surprise that I brought for you. I wanted to show off a couple bones and teach you a little bit about them and the animals they came from. So right behind me, I've got 2 different specimens. First, I have the shell from a sea turtle. Now this one came from a hawksbill sea turtle, and they have this really pretty pattern on the back of their shell. A lot of times I'm asked about turtle shells and what they're made of, and I have received all sorts of answers, from rock to plastic to all sorts of things. But their shell is actually bone. And just like we're born with our bones, turtles are born with their bones. We grow, our bones get bigger with us. Same thing is true of them. Their bones get bigger with them. And you can actually see on the back side, these are the individual vertebrae of this turtle. So they are connected to their shell. And then these are actually ribs that have fused together, because this shell helps protect them so that predators would be less likely to try to eat them. The other bone that I brought with me, this is a skull. Now this one is a replica, but this is a skull of an American alligator. There are 2 species of alligators in the world. There's the American and the Chinese, and alligators actually prefer freshwater. A lot of people ask the difference between alligators and crocodile. Alligator prefer freshwater, where most crocodiles will like saltwater. But another way to tell the difference is to look at the teeth here on the side. So if you are an alligator, your top teeth will come down over your bottom teeth. If you're a crocodile, the top and the bottom teeth actually alternate, and from the side you'd be able to see both of them. Another way to tell the difference is to look at the shape of the skull. This nice round U shape is an alligator. Crocodiles have more long, narrow, V-shaped snouts to them. But of course, they both like to be in the water, so you can see the shape of their skull means that the two highest points are their eyes and their nose. That way they can submerge almost fully underneath the water and still be able to see and be able to breathe while they're sitting in wait for something to come by they might want to have for lunch. Thank you for joining us for our book today, and we hope to see you at the next Tales Under the Tree. Bye.